The last 24 hours have been very eventful for the crypto market. We've seen Bitcoin retest $30,000 per coin, only to be rejected. We've seen massive announcements in terms of regulations come out from the US, UK, Australia, and Russia. And today's video, I want to break down the most important things going on with Coinbase in the US, what's going on overseas, and things you need to be aware of in terms of regulations as a crypto investor. So let's start off with the overall market before we get into what's going on with Coinbase and regulators. So what we've seen is that with the crypto market, there's been over $250 million of crypto liquidated over the last 24 hours. This has been mostly long positions, so people betting that the price of Bitcoin was going to go up. Mainly what's happened is that ever since Bitcoin approached this orange rectangle right here, this key resistance zone, a lot of bulls started doubling down and putting maxed out leverage on their Bitcoin trades. And then as soon as we were rejected at $30,000 per coin, all of these people got liquidated. So that's why we saw so much liquidations in the crypto market over the last 24 hours. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. Right now, a key level for Bitcoin is going to be that we're standing right between 28,500 and 31,500. That has acted as a key level for crypto over the last few market cycles. So in order for us to really break out, confirm this short-term bullish trend, we need to break out above 31,500 on the weekly charts. Until we have a close above that, I would say we're still at risk of retesting these lower $20,000 per coin levels. So just keep that in mind. And this has been shown with the crypto fear and greed index as well. As soon as we hit 31,000, we were approaching extreme greed. We got up to 67, 68. But again, when we were rejected at that level, we started to see the Bitcoin crypto fear and greed index start to fall a little bit. What we've also seen is with gaming. I've been talking about this game quite a lot, but Alaska Gold Rush recently has announced their launch of their token, CARAT, on Gate.io and PancakeSwap. And this is something that is very important. We've been talking about this game. I've done full videos on it. I've talked about it in other updates in the past. And it's a token that I personally have invested in. I've been following because I really like the game. So a big updates with this is that they did announce that they're going to be listing on Gate.io and PancakeSwap on April 20th at 12 p.m. UTC. So keep that in mind. In addition to this, they've also had major updates as of recently from their team. They've had AMAs where they've completely engaged with the community. They've had other announcements in terms of burns where they're burning 20 million carat tokens before the launch. So if you are looking for different games, this one will be available for trading soon. So just keep that in mind on Gate.io and PancakeSwap. Also, they do have a demo, which I played in our last video. So check that out as well. In addition to this, if you're looking for some crypto trading, recently I've been making a lot of big trades, and as you know, our long-term channel partner is Fairdesk. This is where I do all of my leverage crypto trading. You can see right here that I have quite a bit of money on the platform. There is around $15,000 in their earn accounts, and they also have like $50 or so in their margin accounts. So right now I have a lot in their earn accounts. But the one thing I would say is that if you're looking for doing crypto trading, if you use my link in the description, you get up to $35,000 in deposit rewards. Normally, if you just use a friend's link, you can only get up to $6,000, but you do have this exclusive link directly from mine in the video description. So if you're looking to trade crypto, you're looking to do leverage crypto trading, or you're looking to use their earn features like I use right here, where you see I have around $15,000, you can go ahead, deposit your crypto, and get up to $35,000 reward. Now let's talk about what's been going on with regulators. So Coinbase CEO recently met with some regulators, and he said that the crypto exchange is preparing to go to court with the US and SEC. And ultimately what he said is that they've met with regulators over 30 times in the last year. They've not gotten a single piece of feedback from them on what they could do better, what they could do different, what they can improve upon. And they keep getting notices from the US government that they're not following guidelines, that they're doing things wrong, but they're not getting any guidance as to how to correct this. So he says they never seek to go into lawsuits or litigation, but it seems like that they have to, and they said they need to get regulatory clarity as to what they can do. They said they're prepared to do that, and this is something that is putting a strain on the U.S. crypto market because Coinbase CEO came out and said that, look, if there is no regulatory clarity in the coming months and years, they're going to have to look at leaving the U.S. entirely because they can't do business here if they're constantly having issues with the SEC. So he said anything is on the table, including relocating or whatever is necessary. But this would be really bad for crypto in the U.S. because Coinbase has the largest market share in the U.S. for crypto investors. Most of their investor base right now and user base is from the U.S. So this would definitely hurt Coinbase. It would also hurt crypto development in the U.S. if we don't see any regulatory clarity emerge. So something we need to keep an eye out on is what's going on with U.S. regulators and crypto, and especially Coinbase, because this could have big impacts on long-term where companies are building and spending money in the crypto market, how you invest your crypto if you live in the U.S. This is something that you need to keep an eye out. But speaking of what's been going on with Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, he met with UK regulators, and UK is having a completely different approach. So the United Kingdom says that they could lay out an entire digital asset regulatory plan within the next 12 months. They say they want to capitalize on the benefits that blockchain can bring to the private sector and the economy. And Coinbase seems to like this. Coinbase said that CEO said that he met with UK Economic Secretary and City Minister, that they're moving very fast in the crypto space. So they're having a completely different approach to crypto regulations than the US. They're ultimately saying that they want to go at it with a growth mindset, that anything that's going to help grow the economy, bring more money from abroad in, they want to do, but they want to make sure it's done right. So they said in the next 12 months, we can expect to see regulations for crypto in the UK, helping to factor in growth into the economy and attract new projects. Last two things I want to go over is going to be first, which is going on in Australia, and second, what's going on in Russia. So in Australia, in terms of regulations, they've been much more relaxed, and we've actually seen that Australia recently surpassed the number of Bitcoin ATMs in the whole country of Australia than in all of Asia, all countries across Asia. And this is a very important distinction, because what we've seen is that since the beginning of 2023, Australia has been on a crypto ATM installation boom. We've seen a massive number of installations of crypto ATMs since the beginning of 2023. They climbed from the number 5th country to the number 3rd country in January alone, and we've seen them continue to accelerate this process. So all across Asia, there's just a total of 355 crypto machines, which is not a lot. That includes China, Japan, Singapore, India, and other countries, which is only 1% of the total crypto ATMs worldwide. Australia now has more than that, and you can see from this chart right here, they're growing exponentially. This has a lot to do with regulations and more lenient policies towards crypto in the UK, in Australia. So we'll see what happens here, but this is something that's very bullish, and it's a nice change from what we're seeing in the US. Like UK and Australia are much better in terms of crypto regulations than the US. Last thing I want to go over is what's going on with Russia. So Russia's central bank recently reported that they could potentially be considering crypto for international settlements. And they said that the country is also looking to allow crypto exchanges to operate from Q2 of 2023. This has a lot to do with what's been going on with Russia and Ukraine, but now they've said that for international settlements, they could be looking at crypto. This is something they had talked about a few years ago. Then they shut it down. Now they've opened talks back up to this. And ultimately, if we're seeing countries like Russia, UK, like countries in the UK, we're seeing Australia, all talk about adopting crypto and blockchain technology. That's ultimately going to be good for crypto long term. And if we're seeing the US start to make things difficult with Coinbase and they continue to not provide regulatory clarity, well, we may see people and companies shift their money elsewhere outside of the US. Long term, this shouldn't have too big of impacts on actual crypto's price, but in the short term, it's just going to cause a lot of volatility and some fear. So keep an eye out on what's been going on with this key area of resistance right now. If you're trading between 28,500 and 31,500. We'd like to see Bitcoin close a week above 31,500 in order to maintain this bullish outlook. But either way, there's a lot going on in the crypto market right now that you just need to keep in mind.